Hey, everybody. So excited for this week. I am so honored here. I want to get Barb on here. So give me 1 second because Instagram has been funky. There we go. Barb, let's go. All right, so you guys, I'm so glad that you're joining me today. I've got some incredible people that we're talking to. Hey, Barb.
What's up?
How are you?
Great now that I get to see you, Toni Vanschoyck.
Yeah, I know it's been a little bit.
It has, but that's the beauty of doing what we do is that we get to bounce and go and come back and in, but we're always there.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you in New York?
I am.
Awesome.
I am.
Is it cold?
We're having a heat wave today. It's like 55 or something, which is crazy for January.
Wow, incredible. So without further ado, I want to give you the proper introduction. So you guys, actually, Mike gave me the first lead into Barb and her event. I've known her for a little over a year. She's an amazing human. She has an incredible platform, but I wanted to bring her on here as a strong female business owner, a woman that is just out there cascading freedom. And she has this platform that I love. Not only has she written books, not only does she speak, she's been on Good Morning America. She's had amazing speakers on her platform. Oh, I just got God Bumps Barb talking about this. But this is a woman, and I'm all about bringing entrepreneurs and people that are living in their craft, living in their messaging, and also helping other people be the best version that they can be. And I know that you've done such a great job with this, with Flex Your Freedom podcast, with the Great American Summit. I attended your event last year. It was the amount of caliber of speakers and what was presented was phenomenal. And I know that you're doing this gig in Dallas again in June. I cannot wait to be there with you. But can you just share a little bit about who you are, what people can expect from this event, and how they can join us for our really in-depth Q&A call on January 17th?
Yes, Toni, thank you. But let me just point out that you didn't just attend our event, you were pivotal in us pulling it off with your support. We needed, one thing people can get hung up in is thinking, I have no business doing this, right? Like on paper, Dave and I had no business doing that event. We had, like, who were we? We were nobodies, we didn't have names, we didn't have the funding, we didn't do this. When we planned the event, we just said, balls to the wall, we're doing it. Train left the station, and we just prayed and had faith that we were going to find the people that we needed that believed in what we were doing as much as we did to pull it together. And you came into the picture in a moment when we were literally praying. We're like, we need somebody to come in right now at this moment to help us reach this next step. And you did. So you were a godsend, and you continue to be, just with your energy and your support and your passion and your leadership. So thank you for that. Our Great American Summit, we do, Dave and I, we have the Great American Syndicate. We were American Snippets. Everything evolves, right? People are afraid to do something. Well, we don't know if we're going to keep this name forever. Well, pick the name and then change it if you want, whatever. So we had to make some leaps and some evolutions, and we did, and we slowed down and stopped and started, but we got to where we are, and it's exactly where we're supposed to be. This country, as we're in a bad spot right now. We're hurting as a country. This should matter to everybody. It should. And if it doesn't, contact me directly, and I will explain to you exactly why it matters to you, why it should matter to you, even if you don't understand it. But for me, it is deeply personal because, my husband, Lou, he was killed in Iraq in 2005. And our little boys, we had 4 boys. They were 6, 5, 3, and 1 the day that they lost their dad. So a couple of them have vague memories of their father, and the others have no memories of their father, which is tragic and will remain a tragedy for their entire lives. And will always hurt me as their mom to see that gap and know what they're missing. So there is a profound cost to our freedom. And it is not just families like mine. It is not just people like my husband who literally give their lives in service of this country. It's not families like mine who lose the ground underneath them for the rest of their lives, you know, in service of this country. But to see people give so much in service of our country, and to see so many Americans walk away from that, just spit on it, just take it for granted, just go for the easy way out, just fall for all the crap that's coming at us and just surrender it, was not acceptable to me. It was not acceptable to Dave or our partner, Anthony Russo, you know, and to so many people that you and I know, like Mike Fallett, right? And so we started this community. We started with our podcast, American Snippets, just to bring extraordinary Americans to the forefront, shine a spotlight on them, offer our community some leadership and mentorship and insight from these people the way I got it from them, because it helped me turn my life around. You know, my husband wasn't just killed in the normal way. I joke. I'm like, he can't do anything normally. Like, he didn't even die like a normal person does over there, you know. This is funny because it's not funny. He was murdered by another soldier, by the staff sergeant of the unit. There was a 3.5-year court-martial process. The government covered up a guilty plea. Then they let the guy go. It was one thing after another after another. Absolutely overwhelmed all of my resilience skills, overwhelmed and crushed me underneath it. And I went down for so many years, and I took my boys with me. And so it wasn't until I made the connection to people who inspired me, who helped me hold myself accountable, who helped me get to the next step I needed to get to, where I was able to piece my life back together and step into this life I have now, right? So we bring all of that to our Great American Syndicate, all those resources, the way I am being for people when I needed back then, right? Which is what we should all be doing when we look to see, who do we serve? We serve who we know, we serve who we know we can help and provide value to. And those are the people I can provide value to, as well as giving back to the people who serve our countries and our communities. So our summit, Toni, you know, we had no business doing it, right? Well, we were first timers, we were nobodies. It was COVID, it was Omicron, it was a winter blizzard, it was historic airline cancellations, right? I mean, the universe threw everything at us to test us and say, are you going to do this? And we all got together and we said, hell yes, we are. Bring it, you know? And that was the spirit. Did you feel that when you were there? Like, that was the spirit. Everybody there had already won. When we walked in the door, we had already won. And then we celebrated that together. So it felt like a 2.5-day celebration of, you know, you just looked around the room and you knew it wasn't easy for people to get there. You knew you were in a room full of people who cared, who care about our country, who are willing to put their time and their money forward to do their part to strengthen themselves and their families and their communities. And it was phenomenal. We can't wait to do it again.
And I'm so excited because you have an incredible line of speakers lined up. I know that Nick Vukovic, he spoke last year. I'm not sure if he's on the roster this year, but I've looked at some of the speakers that you have coming to this. And you guys, for you know, the investment of time, it's really about the time that you can sit there. And I was captivated because some of these people I hadn't heard of before. And then I go and I'm looking at, you know, their platforms, their social media, and I'm like, man, oh man, these guys are amazing. And they're like crushing in their space. And you had all of these people for a 2-day event. And I was just like, Barb, I'm telling you, I've been to a lot of events in my lifetime, especially over the last 15 years, probably was in my top 10. And I've probably been to thousands of how you put this together, how sincere it was, and, you know, everything that you had to share with people. And my whole thing is that, you know what, you've got to do some different things. You've got to be a part of some different platforms to get out there and to connect with people. And this is really all about connection. I think that any event that you do on this kind of level, it is about connection. So can you talk a little bit more about what's coming up in your event in June? Because I'm really excited to be there.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't believe it was a year ago this weekend, right? Like, crazy. And 6 months is gonna just freaking fly by. So here we are. We're gonna do what we did last year, bigger. You know, we are going to bring more amazing speakers. We're so torn. Like, we loved everybody last year. We'd love to just bring them all back. Like, how do you not bring everybody back if they would join us? So we're going to be bringing back, speaking out, reaching out to a bunch of the speakers who came last year, see if they want to join us again, and sprinkling in new speakers. But the trick is to give the people who attend time to breathe and let the event flow. So that's the hard part there. But we are going to start announcing and reaching out to and locking in our speakers soon. But you can bet they will be, we're not going backwards from where we were. It's not that we're going to top who we had last year. I don't believe there's such a thing as topping the lineup that we had last year. I think it's moving in a parallel way, just bringing more of the same and a better, higher energy to a bigger crowd. We're going to have people. Did you notice last year that a lot of people talked about their faith?
Huge,
right?
That was huge.
And
that was the number one thing for me. Yeah. When we saw all of these people speaking on stage talking about their faith, that was huge.
Right. And so that's not something that we discussed with them in advance. It's not something a lot of them typically speak about, but they mentioned their faith, and it seemed to be an underlying theme. And so that was really interesting for us to see that so many of these people brought their faith forward on the stage. But yeah, from refugees, people who fled communism and come to this country, risking their life to come to this country and go through humongous ordeals, living out of dumpsters and pouring gas on their head to kill the lice and all this stuff, to getting arrested, to then turning around and building multi-millions, hundreds of millions of dollar empires, and impacting people around the world. So coming here from another country and serving in our military to give back and say thank you to veterans who were born and raised here and served our country and were wounded or weren't physically wounded, but carry those, and law enforcement officers who served and what that does. So all of these peoples with their story explaining why it's so important to give so much in this country. And then people who just scraped and ground and grinded from the ground up to overcome whatever their life had become from the decisions they made or things that were thrown at them. Those of us who climbed out from the bottom of garbage heaps, right, of our own making sometimes, if we must be honest, and built or are building palaces on them. So it's really something for everybody. It's not just one discipline. We want to be sort of a network, a hub for people who come and say, hey, I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for, but I'd like to connect with somebody who can take me to the next level here. And you're going to find it there. I don't know how to find out what I'm looking for. You're going to figure that out at this event. I don't know. I'm afraid to speak up around the people I know because I've lost friends and clients and relationships because I speak up for America's core values. You're going to have the opposite problem here. You're going to find people who think like that, who are not afraid to step forward and stand up for what they believe in and to lead others. And you're going to be giving back. Even just by getting your ticket, you're already giving back because it is a nonprofit event. And we have our first 2 beneficiaries, which we're going to make a big splash about here soon, but I'll give you a little inside scoop. One of them is Carry the Load, and the other is the Texas Music Project. And so they're 2 of our beneficiaries, and we're going to be locking in the other beneficiaries real soon. So it's great. We got performances by Ryan Weaver, Tom Varanos. We got a concert. We got some insanely artistic, beautiful speed painting coming our way. It's a little bit of everything.
That's awesome. So Barb, where can they find more information about the event that you're doing in June?
GreatAmericanSummit.com. Easy peasy. You can always message me directly if for whatever reason you forget that or you want more info. We're running a ridiculous promo now, Toni. Ridiculous. It is $60 for a general admission ticket for both days right now, and $100 for 2 tickets for the 2 days for general admission. Like, where are you gonna? You can't even go out to a diner with 2 people for $60 anymore. You just can't, right? So it is. Yeah, thank you, Anthony, for posting that. GreatAmericanSummit.com. And so that's where it is. Come and get them.
So the next thing, though, is that I want people here to know that when they watch this live or they watch the IGTV, is that you are going to be doing a more in-depth call of your journey of being that gold star wife and the mother that had to go through this, and everything that has come to fruition from that point in 2005 until now and how that changed you, which I think, you know, and knowing that I've known your story, I've seen you speak, I've seen you share. We're going to be doing this call on January 17th at 7 p.m. So you guys hit me up on a DM. You know where to connect with me. Go to my link here in my bio. But the best part is, you guys, if you want to be inspired, if you want to hear more about Barb's journey, you've got to join us. I'm telling you, every time I've seen her speak, I don't care what platform it's on, she brings tears to my eyes of what this woman has been through, and her strength, her resilience, and how she had to bootstrap when all of this happened for her 4 boys. And now she helps other women that have been through loss. So Barb, any last words before we conclude?
No, I am so thankful to you, Toni, and I can't wait to be on that call. There is really almost nothing that I will not talk about and answer. And I really, really hope that people show up ready to ask questions and get a little messy and not be afraid, because I promise you, it is only by putting yourself out there and asking that question that you're dying to ask, looking for help in that area you want to know, that you're going to get anywhere. So come to this call, show up, be ready to just get real and get down and laugh and cry and all of that. But let's get some stuff done on that call.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. Barb, thank you so much for being here on this call. Dave, I know he's watching. I saw him. Thank you so much. Anthony Russo, thank you. So appreciate you, and cannot wait to talk to you on the 17th, Barb. And I can't wait to see you in June. So you guys, if you have any questions, hit her up, hit me up. I am just like beyond proud of what you've been able to accomplish through the dark times in your life, Barb. You are truly somebody to put up on a pedestal. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Toni. Have an excellent night.
You too. Bye-bye, you guys. Thank you.